Welcome to Metal Rolls TV, where the underground meets the playground. I'm Vlad from Another Vendetta.
I'm Jeff Rappaport.
And I am Matt Gibbons.
Right, so in the news, Black Flag has...
The King's X song?
Go ahead.
No.
Black Flag has reformed and is in the process of putting the finishing touches on a new album with founder Greg Ginn on guitar, Ron Reyes on vocals, Gregory Moore on drums, and Dale Nixon on bass.
Yes. He's like, don't look at me. Don't judge.
Oh, he needs his blanket.
Oh, I'll get it for him. So professional on the show.
Yeah. Poor dog needs his blanket. So why don't you tell us about your Black Flag?
I like him when Henry Rollins is in the band.
You like Henry Rollins in the band?
Yeah.
I actually was watching, which is really a tremendously terrible movie, but Wrong Turn 2. Did you ever see that?
Oh my god.
I'm not.
Have you seen it?
Any Wrong Turn.
I know he
There's a
plays
Wrong
a
Turn
Marine
4,
in
did you know that?
No.
Yeah. I didn't know there was a 3. There's a 4.
Yes.
You've seen it or you haven't seen it?
Wait, what?
Wrong Turn.
I saw the first one.
Yeah, the first one was pretty entertaining, right? What's the chick that's in it? I really like her.
Eliza Dushku.
Hate her name, love her.
Yes, douche. Coop.
Right, but how
It's
hot
like
is
you're
it?
trying to take over a douche.
Right.
Douche give her.
Cool
But isn't she
douches.
super smoking hot?
Her forehead's kind of big, but it gives you something to aim for.
She's dirty. She's got a real dirty look to her,
man.
like she's just like into anything.
It's like, give me the spoon.
You like her too, huh?
I don't know. I feel like I need to see her right now. I haven't seen her in like a while.
She's got dark hair and she's dirty.
Oh, wait a minute. I think I know.
She looks like she look at you and she goes, I want your cock in my mouth. That's what she has a look on her face. It's
In my
just so
douche
good.
coo mouth.
In her douche coo.
Yeah,
But she was in the first one, and the second one, Henry Rollins is in the second
Yeah,
one.
he's a Marine or a military guy.
Have you seen it or not?
No, I know. I used to read Fangoria, dude. Come on.
Oh, I have seen the second one. Yeah, he was like a soldier dude.
It's terrible. I'm watching it, and it's just like, it's a terrible movie, but I can't stop watching it.
It's actually, it has a pretty good reputation amongst genre fans.
Does it? It's on demand this month. On
Maybe I'll check it
FearNet.
out. It's
You have
actually
FearNet?
relatively well regarded. Yeah,
Oh, then you can watch it. It's one on FearNet yesterday.
I might do so.
I have about 15 minutes left to watch it. Anyway, so we're talking about Black Flag.
Black Flag.
I really, to be honest, never like delved into the music. I figured you would be able to cover the story because you're probably.
I hate.
You
No, I'm kidding. Yes, well, see, Henry Rollins. A lot of people may not know this. Was not an original member of Black Flag. He was like the fourth or fifth guy to sing. He was a fan of the band who went to a lot of their shows, and they were looking for a vocalist, and he had been on stage with them a couple times doing vocals, and that's kind of how he got involved in it. He was, of course, the most popular, and he was on most of their albums that were released, you know, like studio albums, most of their studio albums, and especially their latter period of their career where they did more experimental stuff like My War and material like that. And a lot of punk purists didn't like that stuff because it was too kind of weird and experimental. I like it, but a lot of people don't. They geared more towards the early Black Flag and especially the Damaged album. That's like that's the one with the guy punching the mirror on the cover. Really great album. And but the thing is, a lot of that material was written well before he joined the band, and there's other versions of those songs available with other singers, including Ron Reyes, of course. So, in a sense, this is a true reunion because it's an older lineup, even.
Right.
But there's going to be a lot of people that are kind of disappointed that Henry Rollins is involved. So
Right.
it's kind of a catch-22.
This really is like Black Flag.
Yeah. I would love to see a reunion with Rollins in my lifetime because I think it would be really cool. But this is also kind of cool.
Yeah, here's a good question for you. The one note I took about this whole thing was that that Black Flag is kind of like metal's punk friend.
Yeah.
Right? So why do you think that is? Why do you think so many metalheads embrace Black Flag?
Well, Greg Ginn has a really heavy guitar sound. Like if you listen to that, I'll let you borrow it. You might, it won't be your thing, but I think you'll appreciate it at least. The Damaged album.
I mean, I've heard some of them over the years.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm completely unfamiliar with them.
Right.
But I really didn't feel like I really didn't want to comment on a band with this much history because they've been around for so long and they're so influential. And I've listened to very little of them, so I really didn't feel even like the right to comment on it, to be honest.
It's definitely fair to say that hardcore music And I'm more referring to old school hardcore, like you saw in the late '80s, early '90s. Not so much what they call hardcore now, like the tough guy thing, you know. Wouldn't exist if it wasn't for Black Flag. They really kind of paved the way for that. Like, in fact, one of Henry's best friends, Ian McKay, of course, started Fugazi, was in Minor Threat originally, which was one of the quintessential early hardcore bands people think of. So Black Flag saying they're influential is definitely correct. I mean, they had a big impact on the whole hardcore scene and a lot of metal bands. And a lot of that is like Greg Ginn and Henry both were big fans of Black Sabbath and bands like that, and Led Zeppelin. To this day, Henry Rollins is a big Led Zeppelin fan. So that may be part of why it's a lot of metalheads enjoy Black Flag as well, because there's certain elements of that in their music.
Yeah,
Certainly
they always say that. They always say that in Swans.
Yeah, Swan's another
Right.
very dirgy kind of loud band. Whereas a lot of the British bands, like the Sex Pistols, for instance, were kind of very anti-heavy metal. Like they wanted to be the opposite of what Led Zeppelin and bands
Sex
like that
Pistols actually like.
were. You know, it's too sloppy for me.
I like it. Yeah,
not a big
the stuff. I had a couple Sex Pistols albums. I enjoyed them.
But what I'm saying is they wanted to be the opposite of Led Zeppelin and all those hard rock bands, whereas Black Flag sort of more embraced that and was just kind of a different version of it.
I did watch like some of their like live stuff, and I mean they have like amazing energy.
Who, Black Flag?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like amazing. Like you look like, you know, like when you see a band perform, you know, you want to see a band with like that performs. And Black Flag, it's not like they were like doing like a show with like nipples or like Butcher Babies. They were out there, they were just fucking killing it, and they were like truly into it, and you could feel it by watching them.
Well, he to this day, Rennie Rollins, you know, he's around 50, and he still gets out there jumping around like a maniac, screaming, punching things. He likes to tell this story. He does that spoken word thing. He does. Yeah. You might not like it as much as I do, but it's cool to listen to some of the CDs because he tells interesting stories. One of them, he tells a story about he was at some festival, and they were going to do I think I'm mixing up stories. But they were, he wanted to make a really good impression, so he jumped up as high as he could during the one song, and he accidentally ended up kneeing himself in the face and, knocked himself silly in the middle of the song. So he, he was not loopy, for literally almost half the song. He kind of figured out what he was doing, and he just kind of go, ah, the whole song. And he's looking at his bandmates, and they're all horrified, and he's talking about how in his mind, he's the man, and these women are lusting after him, but he's looking at their faces, and he realized the crowd's just horrified. And he came to find out later, he busted his temple open, and there was just blood streaming down this open, deep gash in his temple. And he didn't even realize it because he's still kind of loopy in the head. But he's looking at his bandmates, and they're all well, they're playing.
So, you're right.
Yeah. But I like Black Flag. That was the point of my